Hi guys. Today, well, I'm not going to. I'm going to like discontinue the. I'm going to. Sorry. I'm going to delay the episodes for the 3D and Scratch series for quite a while. Quite a while. Quite a while. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that. Because I have to catch it to my studies, and I don't really have that much time anymore to post longer projects explaining complex code. But so today we'll go on a simpler route. Let's and in this episode we're going to make a platformer game. Hey. Well, first we need some ground to stand on. We don't want a player, in this case, this cat, to will just instantly fall in the void. So let's do that. Let's make the ground. There we go. We'll probably set this to 0, comma 0. Yes. Let's make it lower. Then, so now we have some ground to stay on, and in this we'll just set the coordinates back. Then for now player, we need to let's add gravity to our player. So make a variable speed wide, like this. And make sure this is for this sprite only. Let's delete the my variable. We don't need the my variable. So first set speed wide to 0. Then forever. We'll get it if we'll get an if not touching not touching sprite the ground, then that means that means we're jumping. We're going to have to go down because of gravity. We'll change to -1. And of course we also must set our speed x. We'll change y by speed y. First we'll go to x 0, 180. You can set it to whatever position you like. This is where these coordinates will set where the player will spawn in. You can change these to whatever you like. Then we'll change y by speed y. Okay, there we go. We now have gravity, but our player is still falling down, still falling in the void. So if we are touching sprite 2, then we'll set the speed y to 0. And there we go. Now when we land, we stop. So now that we've implanted gravity, let's code of how the player is going to jump. I'm just going to set the jump key to the W key. I'm a WASD user, but you could choose any key you like. It depends on your choice of how you're going to move. So we want to move up when we press the W key. So we'll get an if we're not touching sprite 2, then that means we are. If we are touching sprite 2, then we can jump. If key W to like a 10. And there we go, we can jump, but let's make the jump height a little higher now. like say 20, like say 15. Okay, that's way better. We can jump, and we can only jump when we meet the ground. Now we're able to jump now. Let's make our player able to move left and right. So we'll get the variable speed x. We'll go set this to 0 here, and then we'll change speed x by, instead of, let's do a set variable. We'll set the speed x to, instead of the if touching key W pressed, and if touching key, if key S pressed, if key, if two separate ifs. What if we can just combine those two ifs? That's where when we subtract key. I'll choose the A and D keys for our left and right, for when we move left and right. Yeah, this is when these come in. Yes, you can put logical statements in operations. Yeah, it is possible. And what this does is, instead of reporting true or false, when it is put in these blanks in operations, it's going to give out 1 if this logical statement is true, or 0 if this logical statement is false. So for example, if I don't press the key instead of pressing the A key, then that means, like, the speed x will be -1, as this logical statement is false. That means this will be 0, and this will be 1, and 0 subtracted by 1 is -1, so we're going to move to the left. But of course, in order to do that, we must actually change our x by that. Not only that, I'll also multiply this by 10 because I want our movement to be a little fast. And there we go. We are now able to move left and right. This is it for this episode, and in the next episode we'll continue on adding pla- adding the platforms, like being able to like jump on platforms that are in the air, and we'll check the collision script for that too in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me a lot, and it feeds my family. I feed my family. I feed my dad. I feed my sister with mom with likes and subscribes. What? Well, yeah. I hope you don't get bored by this. And yeah, bye bye.